Good day and welcome to another episode of In the Spotlight. I'm Superintendent Michael Richard, and today I'm pleased to be joined by two members of the West Springfield Care Coalition, Nikki Lewis, who is our director, and John Weiss, who's been a member since the founding of the Care Coalition. Correct. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Let's start off easy. We'll get the audience at home familiar with each of you. Tell us a little bit about where you grew up, where you went to school, and what your current role is here in town. Nikki, why don't you start?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm originally from Tivoli, New York, which is a really small town about an hour south of Albany. And from there, I went on to get my bachelor's from Sacred Heart University, and that was in health science, and then to my master's in public health at Boston University. And there I specialized in biostatistics and epidemiology, as well as maternal and child health. And since this past October, I've been hired as the Care Coalition Coordinator.
Very good. Welcome to the team, Nikki.
Thank
John.
you.
Excellent. I actually was born in Long Branch, New Jersey, moved to West Springfield when I was 5, class of 78 from the old high school. I own Ormsby Insurance Agency in town, and I was involved in the Care Coalition from the get-go.
Very good. So your involvement in Care Coalition in different capacities has been longstanding for you, John, and Nikki. While new, you're bringing a lot to the table. But tell the community home a little bit about sort of what it is that got you involved in care, why it's so meaningful to you, and what you hope to accomplish. And John, I'm gonna begin with you.
Sure.
as sort of the veteran.
Understood. It actually, drug addiction, alcohol problems create havoc for families throughout everywhere, especially even in West Springfield. And we've all been touched by a family member or a friend that had an issue with drug and alcohol abuse. So it was important to me to get involved and help the community. It's all about education. You know, we don't want to have people in West Springfield nor any town stick their head in the sand and say, not here, not in our nice community. Drug addiction, alcohol addiction, any type of thing like that doesn't stop at the nice people. It affects everybody. There's no race discrimination, there's no poverty level, there's no income level that doesn't affect, and that's something that we have to educate people about to get their heads out of the sand and say it could happen to us.
Good. And how about you, for Nikki?
Yeah, so very similarly, I really truly believe that this substance use epidemic is something that impacts everyone, whether it's you yourself or a loved one or a friend. I think that we're all impacted by substance use, and while no one is immune to it, I do believe that it's completely preventable. So by doing the work that the Care Coalition does and really starting as early as we can with youth here in the community to prevent, and if anyone has started using substances, to be able to connect them to those resources, I believe is truly powerful and some of the most important work we can do to fight this epidemic.
Right, the preventative efforts of the Care Coalition, not just in West Springfield, but in surrounding communities, is really key to the success of stemming this opioid crisis that we're in the midst of.
It's education, and we want to have students be able to go to their parents, to a friend of a parent, to a teacher, to a guidance counselor, and say, I have a concern about so-and-so. And that intervention is going to save lives. And we need to educate people that don't be afraid. You know, take that stance. It's important. The best thing you can do to help a friend is to make somebody aware of the fact that it could be an issue.
Right, for sure. So, Nikki, you recently attended the CADCA annual conference in Washington, D.C., and you were joined by Christine Beaumont, who's our health services coordinator in town. Tell me a little bit about that conference, maybe your first experience with such a big event, and what you brought back to West Springfield after that event.
Yes, so that was an incredible experience. So that CADCA conference happens annually in Washington, D.C., and it's really an opportunity for people, everyone who's involved from different sectors of this epidemic. So that's local coalitions such as ourselves. We actually met up with our coalitions here in Longmeadow as well as in Wilbraham, so it was incredible to see some familiar faces, as well as experts, national experts such as the Surgeon General, who we were able to hear speak from, and prevention specialists, educators, really people, youth who are engaged in this. So that was an incredible opportunity, and it's all about talking about the evidence-based strategies and the most effective strategies that can be used across our country so that we can share those resources and bring those back home. So some things I'm really excited about is we learned a lot about some school-based strategies that we can start implementing and seeing if they're appropriate for West Springfield, as well as capacity building and youth engagement. So that should be really exciting going forward.
And this was not our first time sending somebody to CADCA, but certainly the first time sending something that resembles a team, and we hope to
Exactly.
expand that and grow that. And I know perhaps in the future John may be able to attend, and students will be able to attend, so that we're really growing this from the grassroots and building capacity in that way. You know, the work that we do in West Springfield and around CARE and other organizations around student safety and community safety isn't limited simply to the CARE Coalition and the opioid crisis. It goes beyond that, John. And so talk to me a little bit about your role at Ormsby Insurance and maybe Distractology
Certainly.
and what that program is and when it's coming to West Springfield and how people can be involved.
The week of April 22nd, we're having a program come to right outside in the parking lot. It's called Distractology. Arbella Insurance sponsors it. Like I said, I own Ormsby Insurance in town. We represent Arbella. It is a heavily invested tractor trailer with computer simulations where high school students, hopefully every student driver in the high school will have an opportunity to sit behind a simulation, driving a car, and the instructor at any moment is going to say, answer your phone. And when they answer their phone, the instructor is going to put up a pedestrian, a bicyclist, another car, an animal, and it's going to show that student a split-second waiver could cause an accident, could cause a death, could cause an injury. So we're all about caring for our students, our community, and that's just another way we can do that.
It's a pretty amazing
It is.
model, and this isn't the first time that it'll be here in West Springfield. And I know that the feedback we've got from students in the past,
They enjoy it.
It's pretty eye-opening
They do.
for them. And so we've got Distractology coming up. We attended CADCA, but CARE, that work that goes on is truly ongoing. So can you, either or both of you, tell me about some events and some work that's coming up relative to CARE Coalition that the general public might want to hear about?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the most exciting parts of the CARE Coalition and the work that we do, and especially right now at the stage we're at with our recent DFC funding, is that we have the opportunity to go out and collect data throughout the entire community. So right now we're really looking to have community members' voices heard, and that's through key informant interviews and focus groups. So specifically, some of the groups we're looking for participants in right now is a parent focus group, as well as recent West Springfield High School alumni. So if anyone's interested, they can be sure to contact me and have their voices heard, and all the information that we receive from that will be used to inform all of our programs so that we can make sure that all the work that we're doing is completely evidence-based and tailor-made to fit the needs of West Springfield. We also have an opportunity for a parent survey that's now available, and that's about a 10 to 20 minute multiple choice survey that parents can take, and you can find that on our website as well as Twitter and Facebook. And that gives us more information about the needs of the community, and everyone who completes that survey before March 15th also has the opportunity to be entered to win a $10 Dunkin' Donuts gift card.
All right, that's motivation in and of itself. And if people want to contact you, Nikki, they should email you at nlewis, that's NLEWIS, at WSPS.org.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yep.
very good. John, anything else that's going on community-wise that you want to make sure that
No,
that we're
just
aware
that
of?
the surveys that Nikki talked about, those are a great idea to do. Please take the time to do it. If you know someone who might want to talk to Nikki, I have a family member who's going to meet with Nikki and talk about her issues and her family. Like I said earlier, every family's probably been touched in one way or another. So take the time. If you don't want to talk to somebody, maybe you know somebody else that wants to talk to Nikki. So just reach out and ask people. Your input's going to help us.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. And while Nikki's not there to be the counselor role, she is there as a resource to be able to guide and direct as the situation might determine.
Correct.
Good.
Exactly. And all information, if anyone does choose to participate in these key informant interviews and focus groups, everything remains completely confidential. So if someone might want to share their experience, but might not want everyone to know that it's them personally sharing it, might want to keep it confidential and just give me some suggestions about where we can improve on or what resources might be helpful based on their experience, that's always appreciated.
Good. Well, I've always been very proud to be associated with the CARE Coalition and the work that we do supporting not just students, but the West Springfield community in Western Mass as a whole. I know we had Kirk Jonah on just a couple of
Right.
weeks ago, and he's a powerful speaker and a new member of the CARE Coalition. So we're building capacity weekly, and the momentum that we build will continue to grow. Before we wrap up, there's always one final question. Everybody gets the same question, and that is, you've had an opportunity to sit, to chat, to share thoughts, ideas, information with the community and we like to grow that base organically. So you have an opportunity to nominate, select, recommend somebody who could sit in the hot seat in the spotlight. So I'll give you each an opportunity to share somebody with me, maybe tell me a little bit about why you'd pick that person. Who wants to go first?
I can go first.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So someone I'd love to see is a member from the DA's community outreach team. They've been really involved in the community as well as with the CARE Coalition, especially most recently. We've had a couple new members that have started to get involved and really attend a lot of our meetings. And one member specifically, Gina Anselmo, she works directly with the DA's Youth Advisory Board, and I think she has a lot of valuable information to share.
All right, very good. She is on notice.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Also, I do a lot of volunteer work with the Springfield Museums, and I think it's right across the river, and a lot of people in West Springfield have no idea what they offer over there. They now have the new Dr. Seuss Museum, which is great if you have youngsters. They have a wonderful science museum, art museum, and a history museum. And I give tours over there to students a couple times a week, sometimes up to 4 to 6 times a month. And it's a wonderful asset that we don't use, that the whole community doesn't use. And I would love to have somebody from the museum come over and give you an idea of what's available over there. It's a great resource.
Very good, and I'll touch base with you
Please do.
offline, and we'll get a name nailed down to try to
Excellent.
pursue this.
Thank
Very
you.
good, very good, absolutely. Well, it's been a pleasure to have John and Nikki here joining me this morning in the spotlight. Their work that they're doing in the CARE Coalition and in the West Springfield community is admirable, and I appreciate everything that they do, not just for the students in the West Springfield Public Schools, but the West Springfield community as a whole. Thank you very much for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you at another segment of In the Spotlight.